What if I told you there's a place on Earth where gravity is so weak you could jump 3 times higher than normal? Or that there's a lake that turns animals into perfect stone statues? I'm talking about geography facts so absolutely insane, so mind-bendingly impossible that scientists kept them hidden for years because they thought no one would believe them. But here's what they don't tell you. Some of these places are disappearing right now, and others are growing without anyone noticing. I'm about to reveal 50 geography facts that will completely destroy everything your teachers told you about our planet. And I'm not talking about the boring stuff you learned in school. These are the secrets they deliberately left out of textbooks. If you're ready to discover the truth they've been hiding, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell, because by the end of this video, you won't trust a single map ever again. Your geography teacher lied to you. Let's expose the truth. Fact 1. The stone animal graveyard. In Tanzania, Lake Natron has a pH level so extreme it can reach 10.5, nearly as caustic as ammonia. Animals that die in the water become perfectly preserved, calcified statues that look frozen in time. The lake's high sodium carbonate content literally turns flesh to stone. But here's the disturbing part. The lake's blood-red color comes from bacteria that thrive in this toxic environment. It looks like something straight out of hell. Fact 2. The continent that shouldn't exist. Zealandia is a continent twice the size of India, hiding 94% underwater beneath the Pacific. But what they don't tell you is that geologists argue it should rewrite our entire understanding of continents. It broke away from Australia 85 million years ago and has mountain ranges taller than the Alps, completely submerged. Some scientists believe ancient civilizations could be buried under these waters, but no one's looking. Fact 3. The river that boils without a volcano. Deep in Peru's Amazon flows the Shanai Tempishka, reaching temperatures up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Any animal that falls in is instantly cooked alive. The terrifying part? There's no volcano for 400 miles. Scientists have no complete explanation for why water this hot flows for 4 miles through the jungle. Local shamans say the river is heated by the serpent spirit Yakamama. The geothermal explanation doesn't fully add up. Fact 4. The place where 2 oceans refuse to mix. At the Gulf of Alaska, 2 ocean waters meet but refuse to mix due to different densities, salinity levels, and temperatures. You can literally see the dividing line where Pacific and Atlantic waters collide. It looks photoshopped, but it's 100% real. Scientists say they'll eventually mix, but locals have witnessed this phenomenon for generations with no change. Fact 5. The blood rain mystery. Kerala, India experiences red rain that falls from the sky, staining clothes and streets blood red. For years, scientists claimed it was dust, but microscopic analysis revealed something shocking. The rain contains biological cells with no DNA. Some researchers believe it could be extraterrestrial in origin. The phenomenon has occurred sporadically since 1896, and we still don't have definitive answers. Fact 6. The desert that blooms once a decade. Chile's Atacama Desert, the driest place on Earth, transforms into a carpet of pink wildflowers once every 5 to 10 years when rare rainfall triggers dormant seeds. But here's what's crazy. These seeds can lie dormant for decades in conditions that would kill any other plant. The desert receives less than 1 millimeter of rain per year in some areas, yet life finds a way. Some plants there have never experienced rain in recorded history. Fact 7. The lake that explodes. Lake Nyos in Cameroon killed 1,746 people and 3,500 livestock in 1986 when it released a massive cloud of CO2 that suffocated everything within 16 miles. The lake sits atop volcanic deposits that leak carbon dioxide underwater. What they don't tell you, it could happen again at any moment. Scientists installed degassing tubes, but there's no guarantee they'll prevent another disaster. Fact 8. The immortal jellyfish bay. In Mediterranean waters lives Turritopsis dohrnii, the only known biologically immortal animal that can reverse its aging process infinitely. But there's a geographic concentration nobody talks about. Certain bays have populations that have been regenerating for potentially hundreds of years. The implications for these ecosystems are completely unstudied. Fact 9. The toxic Rainbow River. Colombia's Caño Cristalis River turns vivid red, yellow, green, blue, and black for a few weeks each year due to unique aquatic plants. But locals warn visitors, touch the wrong section, and the plants release toxins that cause severe skin reactions. The river has sections that are still unmapped because they're too dangerous to approach. Fact 10. The gravity hole. Hudson Bay, Canada has measurably weaker gravity than anywhere else on Earth. You would weigh slightly less standing there. The anomaly is caused by the Laurentide ice sheet that depressed the land 10,000 years ago. What's terrifying? The land is rebounding, but it's happening so slowly that the gravity well will persist for thousands more years, affecting satellite orbits and GPS accuracy. Fact 11. The forest that walks. Ecuador's walking palm trees can literally move up to 20 meters per year by growing new roots towards sunlight and abandoning old ones. Time-lapse photography shows them walking through the forest. But scientists are divided. Some claim this is exaggerated, others have documented clear movement. The truth is somewhere in between, and nobody knows the full mechanism. Fact 12. The underwater crop circles. Off the coast of Japan, male pufferfish create massive geometric crop circle patterns on the ocean floor to attract mates. These elaborate designs span 7 feet across with perfect symmetry. A tiny fish creates something that looks like alien communication. They were discovered in 1995, and the purpose wasn't confirmed until 2011. What else is on the ocean floor we haven't discovered? Fact 13. The lightning storm that never stops. Lake Maracaibo, Venezuela experiences lightning up to 280 nights per year with up to 28 flashes per minute. The Catatumbo lightning is so consistent that sailors used it for navigation for centuries. But what they don't mention, the lightning mysteriously stopped completely for 6 weeks in 2010. Nobody knows why it stopped or why it resumed. Climate change or something else? Fact 14. The island that defies logic. Vulcan Point in the Philippines. An island within a lake on an island within a lake on an island. It's Earth's only triple-nested geographic formation. But here's what's insane. Taal volcano, which creates this structure, is one of the most active volcanoes on Earth. This cute geographic oddity could be obliterated in any future eruption. Fact 15. The magnetic mountain. Mount Kailash in Tibet has never been climbed despite being only 22,000 feet. China banned all climbing attempts. Locals claim it's the center of the universe and has supernatural properties. Scientists have documented severe equipment malfunctions and magnetic anomalies near its peak. Multiple expeditions have reported rapid aging symptoms, nails and hair growing noticeably faster within days of approach. Fact 16. The inverted waterfall. Faroe Islands waterfalls flow upward during storms when 100 kilometers per hour winds literally reverse gravity's pull on falling water. But photographers who've captured this phenomenon report something stranger. The mist creates optical illusions where you lose sense of up and down. Multiple visitors have experienced severe vertigo. Fact 17. The Pink Lake Mystery. Australia's Lake Hillier is bubblegum pink and stays that color even when you remove water in a glass. Scientists thought it was bacteria, then algae. Recent DNA analysis found the cause, but the research is inconclusive. The lake's color has intensified in recent years for unknown reasons. Similar pink lakes around the world are losing their color, but Hillier keeps getting pinker. Fact 18. The Door to Hell. Turkmenistan's Darvaza gas crater has burned non-stop since 1971 when Soviet engineers accidentally created this 70-meter pit of flames. They expected it to burn out in weeks. 52 years later, it's still raging. Here's what they don't tell you. Nobody knows exactly how much gas is feeding it or when it might explode catastrophically. The government wants to seal it, but doesn't know how. Fact 19. The Singing Sand Dunes. Certain sand dunes across the world produce loud booming sounds and musical tones when disturbed. The phenomenon occurs in fewer than 40 locations globally. What's unexplained? The dunes each produce different notes. Some sound like drums, others like cellos. Locals in various countries have attributed mystical properties to the singing sands for millennia. Fact 20. The Skeleton Lake. Rupkund Lake in India contains hundreds of ancient human skeletons visible at the bottom. DNA analysis revealed they died in the 9th century from blunt force trauma to their heads. The mystery: what killed hundreds of people simultaneously with head wounds? The leading theory is massive hailstones. But that doesn't explain why they were all at this remote location or why there's no record of this event. Fact 21. The movable desert. China's Badayin Jiran Desert contains the tallest stationary sand dunes on Earth, some reaching 500 meters, but these stationary dunes are slowly migrating, threatening to bury entire towns. The government has planted billions of trees to stop them, but the dunes keep advancing. Satellite imagery shows they're accelerating. Fact 22. The Cave of Crystals. Mexico's Cave of Crystals contains the largest natural crystals ever found, some over 36 feet long and weighing 55 tons. But humans can only survive inside for 10 minutes before the 136 degrees Fahrenheit heat and 90 to 100% humidity causes potentially fatal hypothermia. The cave was only accessible while a mining operation pumped out water. It's now reflooded and sealed. Those crystals may never be seen again. Fact 23. The Bermuda Triangle of Alaska. The Alaska Triangle has a missing person rate twice as high as the Bermuda Triangle. Over 16,000 people have vanished in this region since 1988. The area has magnetic anomalies, extreme weather, and vast wilderness. But the disappearance rate is statistically impossible to explain by these factors alone. The FBI has a special division investigating these cases. Fact 24. The Gravity Hill Phenomenon. Magnetic Hill in Canada makes cars appear to roll uphill, but here's what's disturbing. It's not just an optical illusion. Measurements show slight gravitational anomalies in these locations worldwide. Scientists explain it as sensor error, but independent researchers have replicated the measurements. Something about these locations defies current gravitational models. Fact 25. The Spotted Death Lake. Canada's Spotted Lake becomes a polka-dotted landscape each summer as water evaporates, leaving toxic mineral deposits in perfect circles. The lake contains some of the highest mineral concentrations on Earth, including fatal amounts of sulfates. During WWI, minerals from this lake were used to manufacture ammunition. The sacred site is now protected, but the question remains, what created such extreme concentration in one location? Fact 26. The Horizontal Waterfall. Australia's horizontal falls aren't actually waterfalls. They're massive tidal flows forcing water through narrow gorges, creating 4-meter differences in water level. The water literally flows horizontally at speeds reaching 18 kilometers per hour. Scientists call it one of the greatest wonders of the natural world, yet most people have never heard of it. Fact 27. The Eternal Flame. In Chestnut Ridge Park, New York, a natural gas leak fuels an eternal flame behind a waterfall. But this isn't the interesting part. Chemical analysis shows the gas is seeping from shale that shouldn't be producing gas. It challenges our understanding of petroleum geology. Similar phenomena exist globally in only a handful of locations. Fact 28. The Methane Death Fields. Siberia's permafrost is developing massive craters up to 100 meters deep from underground methane explosions. As permafrost melts, trapped methane from thousands of years ago suddenly erupts with the force of bombs. Satellite imagery shows these craters multiplying. Scientists predict they'll increase exponentially, potentially releasing catastrophic amounts of greenhouse gases. Fact 29. The Moving Rocks. Death Valley's sailing stones leave perfect trails showing they've moved across the desert floor without human or animal intervention. Scientists finally captured time-lapse footage in 2014. Thin ice sheets form overnight. Then wind pushes these ice rafts carrying 300 kilograms rocks. But this doesn't explain similar phenomena documented in locations where ice can't form. Fact 30. The Underwater Post Office. Vanuatu has the world's only underwater post office at 50 feet depth. But here's what's strange. They process 1,000 plus postcards weekly, and the delivery success rate is higher than regular mail. The waterproof postcards are stamped underwater and successfully delivered globally. It shouldn't work, but it does. Fact 31. The Racetrack Death Valley. Racetrack Playa has rocks that move in perfectly straight lines, circles, and zigzags, leaving trails. While scientists explain straight movement, the curved and zigzagging trails remain unexplained. Some trails show rocks making 90-degree turns. The ice raft theory can't account for these patterns. Fact 32. The Blue Holes of Death. The Bahamas' blue holes are underwater caves reaching depths of 600 plus feet. Dean's Blue Hole is the world's deepest at 663 feet. Divers who descend past 300 feet report identical hallucinations and time distortion. Several experienced divers have died after descending too far and refusing to surface, as if compelled to continue deeper. Fact 33. The frozen wave. Australia's Wave Rock is a 15-meter-high granite cliff shaped exactly like a breaking ocean wave. It's been frozen in this position for 2.7 billion years, but geological analysis can't fully explain how natural erosion created such a perfect wave shape. The formation defies conventional erosion patterns. Fact 34. The Devil's Kettle. In Minnesota's Judge C.R. Magny State Park, the Brule River splits around a rock formation. Half continues normally. The other half pours into a pothole called Devil's Kettle and disappears. Scientists have poured dye, ping-pong balls, and tracking devices into the hole. None have ever been recovered. They don't know where the water goes. Fact 35. The Blood Falls of Antarctica. Blood Falls releases bright red water from Taylor Glacier into Lake Bonny. The color comes from iron-rich water that's been sealed underground for 2 million years without sunlight or oxygen. But here's the terrifying part. This water contains living bacteria that have evolved to survive in conditions previously thought impossible. They respire iron instead of oxygen. If life exists on Mars or Europa, it might look like this. Fact 36. The Boiling River. Peru's Chennai Tempishka isn't just hot. Sections reach 211 degrees Fahrenheit, literally boiling. The shaman who protected it claims it's heated by Yakumama, the giant serpent spirit. But geothermal experts admit the heat source isn't fully understood. The temperature is far higher than geothermal activity alone should produce at this distance from volcanic activity. Fact 37. The Movable Mountain. Mount Wailea in Hawaii is Earth's wettest spot with 373 inches of rain annually. The mountain is eroding so rapidly from this rainfall that it's measurably shrinking. Satellite data shows it has lost 15 meters of elevation in 50 years. At this rate, the mountain could erode completely within 10,000 years. Fact 38. The Lost Sea. Tennessee's Lost Sea is America's largest underground lake, but exploration has revealed something disturbing. The cave system connects to unmapped passages that could extend for hundreds of miles. Cave divers have disappeared attempting to map these passages. Some sections have never been explored due to extreme danger. Fact 39. The Glowing Beaches. Bioluminescent phytoplankton causes beaches worldwide to glow electric blue at night. But what scientists don't broadcast? These blooms are increasing in frequency and intensity due to ocean warming and pollution. What looks magical is actually an ecosystem warning sign. The organisms producing this light are stress indicators. Fact 40. The Aral Sea Disaster. The Aral Sea was once the world's fourth largest lake. Soviet irrigation projects drained 90% of it by 2007. Now it's a toxic desert filled with shipwrecks and chemical weapons testing residue. What they don't tell you, the remaining water is so poisonous that locals have cancer rates 3 to 4 times higher than elsewhere. This disaster affected 60 million people. Fact 41. The Chocolate Hills. The Philippines' 1,776 perfectly cone-shaped chocolate hills turn brown in dry season. Geologists can't fully explain their formation. They're too symmetrical and numerous to be natural erosion. Some theories suggest they're coral deposits thrust from the ocean floor, but that doesn't explain their perfect distribution and shape. Fact 42. The Floating Islands. Lake Titicaca's Uros. People have lived on floating reed islands for over 500 years. But what's rarely mentioned, these islands are constantly rotting from below and must be rebuilt weekly by adding fresh reeds on top. Families have fallen through islands and drowned. It's a precarious existence requiring constant maintenance. Fact 43. The Triple Waterfall. Iceland's Thorafoss has a phenomenon where water freezes mid-fall, creating a permanent ice sculpture waterfall that flows behind and through the ice. But in recent years, the ice isn't forming properly due to warming. Photographers documenting its disappearance notice the waterfall is growing weaker, as if the flow itself is diminishing. Fact 44. The Nazca Lines Mystery. Peru's Nazca Lines are massive geoglyphs only visible from the air, created 2,000 plus years ago. They depict animals, plants, and geometric shapes spanning hundreds of meters. What history books skip? New lines are still being discovered using LiDAR technology. Over 140 new geoglyphs were found in 2019 to 2020. Why would an ancient civilization create art only visible from heights they supposedly couldn't reach? Fact 45. The Risha structure. The Eye of the Sahara, Risha structure, is a 40-kilometer circular formation visible from space. Scientists claim it's a geological dome, but the perfect circularity and concentric rings have led to alternative theories. Some researchers believe it matches Plato's description of Atlantis. The structure is slowly being buried by advancing sand dunes. Fact 46. The Crooked Forest. Poland's Crooked Forest contains 400 pine trees with identical 90-degree bends at their base. They were planted in 1930, and something caused all of them to grow with the same strange curve. The reason remains unknown. Theories include gravitational anomaly, snow damage, or human manipulation, but none fully explain the uniform pattern. Fact 47. The Sailing Stones 2.0. While Death Valley's sailing stones are explained by ice, Romania's Travans are living rocks that grow, move, and even reproduce. After rain, these rocks absorb water and expand, growing up to 4 to 5 millimeters. They're formed from sandstone with high mineral content. Scientists have documented them budding off smaller rocks. The mechanism remains poorly understood. Fact 48. The Movable Island. Sable Island off Nova Scotia is a 42-kilometer sand island that has migrated 20 kilometers east in 250 years. It's moving approximately 200 meters per year. The island is home to 500-plus wild horses that somehow survive on this shifting sandbar, surrounded by treacherous waters called the graveyard of the Atlantic. Fact 49. The Time Cave. Mammoth Cave in Kentucky is the world's longest cave system with 652-plus kilometers of mapped passages. But deep exploration has revealed something disturbing. Sections where compasses spin wildly and electronic devices fail. Experienced spelunkers report time distortion, spending what feels like hours, only to emerge and find only minutes have passed. Fact 50. The Great Blue Hole. Belize's Great Blue Hole is a massive underwater sinkhole 300 meters across and 125 meters deep. Jacques Cousteau declared it one of the world's top diving sites. But what's rarely discussed, at depths below 90 meters lies a hydrogen sulfide layer that's toxic and blocks all light. Multiple divers have died exploring this zone. Recent expeditions found the bottom littered with lost diving equipment and stalactites that prove the cave was once above sea level. So there you have it. 50 geography facts that completely destroy the safe, comfortable version of Earth they taught you in school. From lakes that kill everything they touch to mountains that shouldn't exist, our planet is far more dangerous, mysterious, and absolutely insane than they ever told you. But here's the real question. If they kept this stuff out of textbooks, what else are they not telling you? Which fact absolutely shattered your reality? Was it the boiling river with no explanation, the lake that turns animals to stone, or the cave where time stops working? Drop a comment below and let me know what broke your brain. If you're ready to keep discovering the secrets they deliberately hide from us, smash that like button, subscribe, and demolish that notification bell. Because trust me, Earth's darkest secrets are just getting started. Now get out there and question everything they taught you. The world is watching.